Right, is that recording? Yes. Can you tell me your name and your age?
My name is Linh and I'm 17 years old.
Good. So, part one, some basic questions. We'll talk about childhood. Did you enjoy your childhood?
Yes, a lot because I spent most of my childhood in my hometown with my grandparents. I lived far away from my dad, but I have a lot of core memories with my cousins and my grandparents, and I'm really happy that I could enjoy the countryside atmosphere there.
Good. What is the first memory of your childhood?
I think it's the time when I went to the market and selling fruits with my grandma. I was only about 1 year or 2 years old at the time, and I sit at her shop and selling some fruits with her. I don't remember it clearly, but I heard all of the memories from my grandma's neighbors and her friends.
Good. Do you think it is better for children to grow up in the city or the countryside?
I think children should be raised in some peaceful atmosphere like in the countryside. So I think that I prefer little kids to be raised in the countryside rather than the busy and crowded place like in the city.
Good. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Let's talk about dreams. Do you often have dreams when you sleep?
I sleep a lot, and every time I doze out, I always dream about different things. Sometimes they are real, sometimes they are surreal and unreal.
Do you think dreams are important to remember?
I have a lot of weird dreams, but I think some of them predicts my future, and I think that whenever I'm just reminisced about it, I think that it is not only a coincidence, but it's also something that can foresee my future and help me to do things more carefully.
Interesting. Do you ever have daydreams?
Yes, because sometimes when I have to prepare for the midterm test, I will stay up real late and I will just sleep and during my lessons and I fall off daydreaming.
Mm. Okay, I'm going to ask you part two questions. So, you're going to talk for 1 to 2 minutes, and you've got 1 minute to make notes. Okay, unexpected. Describe an unexpected event. You should say what it was, when it happened, who was there, why it was unexpected, and explain why you enjoyed it. 1 minute to make notes. Okay. So, describe an unexpected event.
So it was the Danang trip about nearly 7 years ago. When I was enjoying my summer trip with my mom, my little brother, and my mom's friend's family. We went there for 4 days, and I was really sad because my father couldn't show up there due to his business trip and his busy schedule. But this trip was also to celebrate my little brother's birthday, and then after 2 days arriving at Da Nang, I saw my father went to the Bana Hills with me, and it was really it amazed me and shocked me a lot because I wouldn't think that he was able to join this trip with us. My dad went to the business trip for about 1 year before that, so we barely met each other. We only FaceTime to meet each other, and I was so happy that I could meet him in person, and he bought us a lot of presents and some souvenirs from his trip, and also although after the trip he has to get back on his business trip, but it was so happy that I could spend some little free time with him, and it was my core memories when I grew up without spending time with my dad.
Good. So we're going to move on to part 3 questions. So talk about 4 or 5 questions. Speak for about 30 seconds. They'll be a little bit more difficult. So we've talked about an important event. So we're going to talk a bit more about events in Vietnam. In Vietnam, how do people celebrate public events?
Mostly in my country, people have different ways of celebrating in different regions, and different in the northern places is different from the southern places. But I think most of it, like walking in public places or like having a parade, and we will have it streaming live on TV.
Do you think it's important to celebrate events?
It is really significant for us to remember and still keep the tradition from our ancestors. So celebrating the public event is also one of the best way to keep us remember of what our ancestors did to us.
Good. Should the event be prepared in advance?
To make all the things more complete, and I think that we should do prepare the events before to make it more overall more perfect, and everyone can fully celebrate it with joy and happiness.
Good. I think we'll finish there. That was good.
Okay.
Well done.